If you're an animal that's aggressive, you're vicious, and you have a ton of anxiety, and then all of a sudden you're in this, 10 by 8 kennel, which is like a cell. You start to see them charge the front, do like a spinning motion. So there's things that you see them do: yawn, which is nervousness, not want to eat, become depressed. So there's a lot of things that can happen in an environment, and that's with an aggressive animal or an animal that's not. They don't show well in their kennel because it's stressful for them, but the minute you take them out of their kennel, they're a complete different dog or cat. So we use some different things too, like calming collars and something called Fellaway, which you can spray on their blankets.
And they act like they're just little puppies. So it's nonstop with them. They think that they are lap dogs. They like to cuddle. Every now and then, they're siblings, they're brother and sister. They came from the same litter, so they'll get mad at each other and they'll fight just like siblings typically would. But other than that, they're just big sweethearts. The media skews everything in this world in the way that they want people to perceive it. So just like everything else that we have going on in society, they're going to glorify the negative, and they want to be the next big story. They want to be the next big headline. So anytime you have anything negative going on, they're gonna play on it. That's just the reality of our society right now, that people want to hear everything bad that they can. And so pit bulls are no different. That if they can get a negative story on them, they're going to play on that fear. That's really what it comes down to. When you have these two running at you full speed with their tongues hanging out, you're going to be pretty terrified. But as soon as you just see that they're just running up to you to say hello, people will usually calm down.
Skin factor, and they eat rodents or bugs, and that kind of just freaks me out. They're a good first pet, like the leopard geckos and the bearded dragons. They're both slightly minimum care, and little boys do love them.
In the air, you're finally free, and you can stay up there.
I decided to own a bearded dragon because I originally wanted like a small, like fluffy animal. And my dad told me that pet dander with those is really bad, and my sister has allergies, so he said, well, why don't you try bearded dragon, because they're pretty docile creatures and they like people and they're really not going to bite you. They don't have like any poison like a snake does, no venom, and they're just really cool creatures to have. With like any type of reptile, you're gonna see like the horror story of like snakes, where like they're killing people, it's like the large ball pythons. But I guess with like bearded dragons, it comes down to like the movie Holes. They depict the animal in there that's supposed to be like venomous or like whatever like it's supposed to be, is actually like portrayed by a bearded dragon. So a lot of people, when they see beardies, will say, oh, like the one in Holes, aren't those like dangerous? And to which I say, no, that's a portrayal they made up in the movie. That animal does not exist.
Brightly burst into a million sparks.
They're like dangerous animal. They have poison and stuff, so they can kill you easier than a dog and a rat. But reptile, they can then you're dead, or they can like squeeze you to death. They can swallow you too, but I swallowed them before.
Also gross.
I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. generations are all my friends.
Also, there's all those associations with disease, like rats in the wild, particularly like the Black Plague was spread by parasites on rats. So I think that's kind of ingrained in people to an extent. They hold it in their little paws and nibble on it, which is super cute, just like how you'll see squirrels do. You can actually teach them tricks. They can learn their names. They like snuggling with people. They love being a pet. They love like laying in little hammocks. They play with toys. They're very intelligent, wonderful little animals. Not sure what the breakdown of how many rats are purchased for one purpose or the other purpose, but there definitely are two very distinct mindsets of rat buyers. The people that are buying them as feeders for their snakes, and but the thing is, even those feeder rats, they're actually pet rats. They're the same exact species. So when people say something is a feeder rat compared to a pet rat, it's really just what they're breeding them for and their purpose, kind of the difference.
Because they are relatively clean animals, and I was told that I couldn't get a dog, and I'm terrified of birds, so a rat just seemed like the next best option.
I really wanted to have a pet of my own, and they just seemed really cute. I've always been the kind of guy who goes for the underdog, or the under rat in this case, and no, they seem like really good pets.
They use the whole Black Plague and everything, and they kind of play up on that fear that, rats are super dirty, and I feel like that makes people just assume that rats are super dirty instead of getting to really know what they're actually like.
You see Halloween movies with rats becoming like, symbols of evil or symbols of like witchery. You see movies in Europe with rats bringing along the Black Plague and other negative things, and the media has really skewered them to look like negative animals, but in all honesty, they're just not.
They are saying things without knowing a lot about them because they're very clean animals and they're pretty easy to take care of.
I kill rats for a living. Every time I see rats, I jump and I run around trying to find something to hit it.
Yeah, I think I ate them before in Thailand.
So whenever you see a guard dog in a movie, it is a Doberman, a Rottweiler, a Pit Bull. It's a dog like that that they use. You'll see don't go up and touch the dog, and it's always like this vicious dog. Well, you shouldn't go up into anybody's yard and touch a dog. I don't care if it's a Chihuahua or a Yorkie. You just don't. So I think that they always tried to use the ones that are like the bigger breeds. There's a myth about their jaws locking, and that is absolutely not true. But unfortunately, you guys know that fake news spreads quickly, so you always seem to see those breeds out there.
A lot of times you see the sewer rat, gutter rat thing. If you even think about Disney movies, you have Lady and the Tramp where the rats are going after the baby, and they have scary red eyes, and they're dark colored and just kind of creeping into the house. And you'll see rats run through alleys on movies and such. I've never actually seen a good portrayal of a pet rat, which kind of says something in itself. So I think people, a lot of times when they think rat, in entertainment for sure, and in general, they're thinking of outdoor ones, living in the sewer, spreading disease, things like that.
Usually, some animals they say it's dangerous, and then when you meet them, they're actually really nice to you and stuff. Some animals. And some animals, you think they're nice, but they're just straight up jerk.
I'm a firm believer that there is nothing that is born evil or malicious, humans and dogs alike. And unless they are trained to be mean, you're going to have a good dog if you just train it to be a good dog. And I just wish we didn't have this stigma attached to pits that they're these big, vicious dogs that are only out to hurt people and attack people, but these are probably two of the sweetest dogs I've ever met in my life.
I wish people knew that bearded dragons are actually really, really sweet animals. I wish that they knew that they love to cuddle, and like, it sounds weird, they love to cuddle because they're all spiky and stuff, but they're actually really, really funny. The way they eat is really adorable because they stick their little tongues out and just like pull food in real quick. I just wish people wouldn't make assumptions before they actually like got to know the animal.
I wish people knew that they were a great pet and they're not dirty at all. And I wish they knew that rats are probably one of the best pets that you can have.
They're just really clean. That's the biggest thing. Everyone always thinks that rats are just nasty, but in all honesty, they're amazingly clean, and these two clean each other all the time.
Shouldn't talk about it. For me, no sun is shining anymore. The only thing I feel is pain, caused by absence of you. Suspense controlling my mind.
Red, I don't think red can kill you. Can they?
Well, you always see,
so that I'll never feel alone again.
Like a beardy. Hello.
It's okay. Ellie's getting attacked with kisses right now.
Hello.
We don't talk about it, dance on, do the boogie all night long.